You chant Om 3 times. Om. Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murtiveda Vivagini Yomavadhyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaya. So friends, to continue with our talk from that day, as I had mentioned you one incident when we first met Swamiji, and he was asking us certain questions, and after the end of it, one gentleman came and prostrated to Swamiji and he asked, when Swamiji introduced him, these are the boys are coming for learning, he asked, but how do you select them, what questions you are asking? Swamiji said, what questions can I ask? Then he said, anything about God. Swamiji said, what do they know about God? Just let them forget God and I'll tell them what it is. That is the one sentence which really hooked me, and I was there. And what Swamiji had told was just like a joke or whatever thing, he fulfilled that promise. Let them forget everything and come. In reality, can I forget everything and go there? We cannot. And he made me forget. What do you mean he made me forget? Not to forget. He did not make me to forget it. He did not make me to cancel anything, but gave a dimension which was already existing in me, being with which the whole, every identity that I had picked up before became totally irrelevant, yet relevant as far as our living is concerned. It's absolutely fantastic. Because friends, when we are growing up in life, just see how beautiful it is. When you are growing up in life, my father, mother, brother, sister, friends, neighbors, go to the school, go to the college, university, everybody programs us. Everybody programs us. They give us different types of identities. All that they give becomes something that I have. My father gives me a name. Think of it. Do you have a name or you are a name? If I ask you, who are you? Usually your answer is Ram, your name. Do you have a name or you are a name? You have a name. You are not a name. You have a name. Who gave you that to you? You are not born branded with a name, Ram. Your name is already programmed like that. No. He gave you a name. Then you go to school. You study, literature, history, geography, mathematics, all this stuff. Then you study and you become a degree holder. When you say, I am a graduate, postgraduate, you are a graduate, you are an engineer, or you have the knowledge of engineering. You have the knowledge of engineering. You are not an engineer. You have the knowledge of engineering. You have it. Oh, you are rich or poor? Oh, my father is very rich. So when you say riches, you are rich. You have the riches or you are rich. You have the riches. You have a name. You have a degree. You have the job. All these things, everybody is giving us. And they also, everybody is programmed to believe what they have is who they are. That is why everybody effortlessly, when you are asked, who are you? Engineer. Man, really? You even get into that little bit something. When you say you are a man, what does it mean? You have a body, and that physical body has a particular gender. You are born a boy or a girl. Thus your body is born as a boy or a girl. Now, as you grow up, you discover you don't like the boy's body. So what do? You change your gender. You don't like the girl's body. So until you are 15-year-old, 20-year-old, you are telling I am a boy or a man. Then you went through this sex change operation and you say I am a woman. How? You have a body. Are you getting that point, please? You have a body. You did not change. Your body changed. Long before you even understand about yourself, already these identities we have picked up. And the best part of it is, we do not even doubt these identities. We don't doubt. Because everybody is lost in this drama. I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm rich, I'm poor, I'm young, I'm old, I'm engineer, doctor, professional, I'm the Prime Minister, President, Governor. Everybody. And added to that, these are all secular identities. Think of it, these are all secular identities around the world. Everybody is like that. Then you pick up some religious identity. Religious identity also means the faith that you have. Now ask me, if I ask you that question, please tell me, do you have a faith or you are a faith? Do you have a faith or you are the faith? Nobody is born branded. No child is born with a Omkara or with a cross, with a hand, with a wheel, with a fire. None of this. Nobody, no child, no human being is born branded. Nobody must die branded. If faith is given to you, if you are growing up in a family which believes in a particular religion, particular faith, you pick it up. Suppose your father is a hardcore non-believer iconoclast. You don't know any type of faith. You say, I am a non-believer. When you say non-believer, don't say you don't believe. You believe in disbelief. You have a belief. Understand? You have a belief. So, when you are asked, who are you? If somebody with secular identity shall say, I am a graduate, postgraduate, professional, politician, all that stuff, the person who is finding security in his religious identity, he shall say, I belong to this religion or that religion. I believe this God or that God. So you have a faith. So all the time, if the secularist traditions educate us to identify with the information they are giving us, the religious traditions encourage us to identify with the thought, the faith they are giving us. Both are giving us two identities. That is why the conflict between the secular and the religious tradition continuously, it always continues. Because you say, I am a believer, you say, I am a non-believer. I am rich, I am poor. All these things, anyway, these are the identities that is already given to a human being. And then the teacher says, that person to whom you go to listen to, when I went to Swamiji, what type of knowledge he gave, what did he say? Who you are is not what you have. Simple principle. Who you are is not what you have. If you go on thinking, you listen to the scripture, you listen to the teacher, but you go on thinking, and when you go on thinking, you see the truth of it very, very clearly. Who you are is something which is different from all those things that you have. Because if one statement to take, because you have something, therefore you exist, or because you are, therefore you pick up. As simple as that. Because you have riches, therefore you are, or because you are identifying with riches. Because you have a thought, therefore you are. Or because you are, therefore you have a thought. Because you are, therefore you are picking up a role, or because you are picking up a role, therefore you must be. When the roles drop out, still you are there. So all these roles we have been given from the childhood. Man, woman, father, son, brother, sister, education, riches, different types of information, thoughts, and we identify with that. That is where comes the individuality comes up. What is this individuality? Simple thing I shall tell you. How you behave, how you handle that. Usually that language that you use is ahankar. We'll explain it very beautifully. Make it so simple, because the whole teaching is very simple. What is this ahankar? Just appreciate. When we are growing up in life, when we are living our life, we don't believe, we can't even comprehend that I am so arrogant, or I am so unnecessarily humble. Because who are you? PhD. Who are you? Employed. Who are you? Rich. Who are you? Man or woman. Effortlessly talk about it. But everything is so wrong. I'll give an example. This word ahankar, just to understand in a very simpler way, I shall explain it to you. You have all been listening to all these things, but please see that in a simpler way. That word ahankar means aham karomi iti buddhi. I do. What is that I do? In reality, you don't do anything, but you drag somebody is doing to yourself. That is ahankar. That is the glory of the ahankar. I came 100 kilometers per hour. You came 100 kilometers per hour. You can't walk 100 feet looking at your health. You are talking 100 kilometers per hour. Meaning what? You came in a car which came 100 kilometers per hour. When you say I'm rich, what does it mean? You are rich because you have some riches. So you drag the power of the riches to yourself. When you say I'm the body, I'm a man or a woman, what does it mean? If the body is a man, I'm a man. If the body is a woman, I'm a woman. Suppose in between you felt uncomfortable. I don't like this male body. You change your sex change operation, female. You don't like the female body. You go through sex change operation, male. So who are you? Clearly see. So you're dragging the identity of the body to yourself. As simple as that. You're dragging the identity of the body to yourself. If the body is a man, I'm a man. If the body is a woman, I'm a woman. If the body is young, I am young. Take these friends. That is where you learn these things. But the more you think, tremendous ideas come. Explode. What the teacher gives you is the truth of yourself. Thereafter, what all you make out of it depends on you. Like Shankara must have learned something from his guru. But then what did he do? My God, writing hundreds of books, then writing the commentaries on the Gita, Upanishad, Brahma Sutras, what all things he did. The teacher's job is to help you to understand yourself. They facilitates the understanding of yourself. Thereafter you must go on thinking. We all see Himalayas. Maybe a person has got intellectual capacity to write 100 books on it. Another person says, Himalaya is a beautiful mountain. That does not mean, because he cannot speak, it does not mean he has not seen Himalayas. Just because he cannot write 200 books or describe it beautifully, that does not mean he has seen. Everybody sees that. Some people can talk, some people cannot. Some people can think, some people, depends on your capacity. So just take this example, friends, how sweet it is. Suppose I am asking you, sir, how are you now? Oh, Swamiji, I am a young man. Just think, I am young. Why? 20-year-old. Can that young man, ask yourself, Mahadeva, ask yourself, can that young man say at that moment, when I'm asking, how are you? He's telling, I'm young. Can that time, can he say, I am old? With a 20-year-old body, you say, I am young. If you have to say you are old, you have to wait 50 years until it becomes 70 years. You cannot say, I am old. That means what? You are dragging the condition of the body to yourself. Until you are educated, can you say I am a graduate? So just because you are not a graduate yet, are you not existing? As simple as that. I was a child. Can you say I am a child? When you are 20-year-old, can you say I am a child? I am a child? You can't. You say I was a child. Because in relation to body, it was a child, it is young, it will be old. I, was, is, will be same. Immediate. Your revelation is immediate. If you can think it clearly. How simple it is. Just think of it. So this ahankar, what happens? We don't understand that I am continuously changing with the changing universe. My body is changing and I am changing my identities. My status in life is changing. When I was in the house, I was the son of my father, brother of my brother. I was not married yet. When you are 10-year-old, can you say I am a husband? Can you say I am a wife? What does it mean? The I is waiting for a role. The I is not waiting for itself. You are waiting for a role. Are you getting the simplicity of it? You are waiting for a role. Even you are waiting for a belief. You can't wait for yourself. You can wait for a role to come up. But you can never ever wait for yourself. That is the instantaneousness of the wisdom. Absolutely instantaneous. Now and here. You don't have to wait to be yourself. You can wait to be young, you can wait to be old, you can wait to be married, you can wait to be divorced. You can wait to be rich, you can wait to be poor. You can wait to have a thought, you can wait not to have a thought, but you can't wait to be conscious. There is no waiting in consciousness, there is no waiting in being yourself, instantaneous. Think of it, friends, just see that. In fact, with this, the class ends. That is the simplicity. Because when Swami was talking about these things, it was so simple and so clear, and we are thinking all the time about it. Why? Please understand, friends. Here is a teacher in the line of the tradition of this Upanishad, the Sanatana Dharma, like the Guru in the Chandogya Upanishad is asked, when the Shvetaketu returns from the, call it army, whatever, he returns from the Gurukula, the father asked him a very beautiful question. And he saw this son is very proud, arrogant, peacock walking. Because he has gone to and studied and everything and come back. Then he asked him a very simple question. Did you learn something by knowing which everything is well known, everything is as well known? Yasmin vigyate sarvamidam vigyatam bhavati syat. Every Upanishad, many Upanishads it comes. Yasmin vigyate, by knowing which everything is as well known. Did you learn something by knowing which everything is as well known? Do you know that? As usual, he says, instead of telling, I don't know, he says, I don't think my teacher knew, no. Had he known it, he would have told me. This is the trick the ahankar plays. Because ahankar will not accept anything limited. He's the all-knowing fellows, understand? I don't think my teacher knew about it. Ask yourself, friends. When you go to school, college, university, every one of we have gone school, college, university, doing so many different types of jobs and all that. Did you ask any time for yourself, is there anything by knowing which everything will be as well known? You cannot think for yourself. How many people remind you? How many times your parents asked you this question? How many times your teachers in school, college, university asked this question? How many times your friend discussed this question? Never. In science it is beautiful. They say that try out to one unified theory which will explain everything. They are trying their best to find a unified theory by discovering which everything shall be understood. Upanishads has already told about you. You understand yourself, the whole universe stands understood. Kasmini Vijnata, Sarvamita Vijnata, knowing which everything is as well known. Is there any something like that? Yes. And you can see the possibility. How? Ask a person, who are you? This is the most fundamental question. Kastvam ko ham kuta ayata. Who are you? Ask yourself. Who shall ask himself? A person who has a doubt about himself. The person who doesn't have a doubt, will he ask? Who are you? Father. Mother, just like when my Swedish friend was some 40, 50 years back. One boy came from Sweden. Those days, 50 years back. And when I was in Madras, of course, in the classes, I was taking classes, one boy comes. And his mother had asked him, where are you going? He said, I'm going to India. He said, India from all places, why do you want to go there? Because so much of fever, those days, water is bad, road is not there, nothing is there. He said, why do you want to go there? Then he said, Mom, I want to know myself. He said, what? What do you mean by that you want to know yourself? You are my son. Simple thing, you are my son. What do you want? You want to know yourself. That is how everybody is trained. You are my son. I am your brother. You are rich. What more do you want? With the doubt itself doesn't come to people. Somebody to question it. Somebody helps me to question it. So, I am very contented with it. I am a man. I am going to get married. I have my job. I am riches. People die. Oh yes, death is normal. Jatasya dhruvo mrityu dhruvam janmam tasya. The one who is born shall die, one who dies shall be born. Very beautiful philosophy, and die away. And if the pain and pleasure, samsara dukkham. These are the type of statement is given. Samsara dukkham. Man is mortal. With this type of brainwashing or this type of conditioning, how are you going to ever challenge your mortality? How are you going to ever challenge your misery? How are you challenging, trying to, what is that something by understanding which everything shall be understood? This question doesn't arise. That I don't know myself, that I must know myself, that doubts do not arise. That is why the teacher is one who literally shakes you out of the stupor. Who you are, you must know when you say who you are. Not that he says that you should give up all that you have. No. That you have something is not a problem. You are identifying with it is a problem. That you have riches is not a problem. But don't say you are rich. That you have a body is not a problem. But don't say I am the body. You have certain thought is not a problem. Don't say I am the thought. So if you ask 7 billion people the question, who are you? Everybody shall say first, I am. Before you describe yourself, I am. That is the universal first name. Universal first name. There is no masculine I, feminine I, neuter I, Indian I, American I, Australian I, New Zealander I, no Christian I, Muslim I, Hindu I, Jewish I. There is no such stuff. I is I. Who are you? I. Your first name. You have announced yourself. Listen friends, you have announced yourself. I. But still I am waiting. Who are you? I. Yes. Why? You have announced. But still I am waiting. Neither you shall sit down and not talk anything because you have announced yourself. Then you have to say Ram, a name. Rich, poor, Indian, American. Something you have to add. Believer, non-believer. So by telling who you are, just starting the word with I, you have announced yourself. That is universal first name. How many second names? Thousands of second names. Vishnu Sahasranam, Vishnu has only 1,000 names. You have million names. Shiva Sahasranam, 1,000 names to God. Every individual can have million names. Every moment you are picking up an identity. Every thought is an identity. Think, friends. If you lose yourself with what you have, do you think you can ever extricate yourself, ever escape the confusion? Impossible. So when you go to a teacher, listen carefully, when you go to a teacher, instead of helping you to know who you are, if he goes on adding to your identity, you are now a Hindu, you are a Shastri, you are a grammarian, you are a practitioner of this practice, you are a yajna, you are a ritualist, or you are a worshipper, or you should believe in this God, only this faith only. If you go to religion to pick up yet another identity, what type of religion is that? Already you are reeling under the, are you getting that? Already you are reeling under the spell of thousands of rules. It doesn't add to the list of second names. It tells you who you are. How do I say that? Because all of you have studied it, educated, understood it. I'll get back straight into Bhagavad Gita, one reference which I'll say. Because simple words, simple verses, if you see it as it is. Bhagavan Krishna talks in the Bhagavad Gita, last one, in the 18th chapter, one verse it comes. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam saranam braja aham tva sarva papebhya mokshayishyami mahasucha. My friend yesterday asked him, that's why it came up, so I thought it's very topical, I shall take about it. He said this particular line, Sarva dharman parityajya, Krishna says, giving up all the dharma, mam ekam saranam braja, surrender unto me one, which is one alone, aham, I, tvam, to you, sarva papebhya mokshayishyami. What does it mean? Just a general statement I shall give you before going to that. When he says sarva dharman parityajya, it not only means only dharma, adharma also part of the dharma. And when I say I shall sarva papebhya mokshayishyami, I shall free you from every papa, every vices or every sin or every type of limitation. There is no papa, is sin and virtue and all that stuff. Limitation. It means also sarva punyebhya mokshayishyami. I shall free you from the bondage of papa punya both. Why this papa is called, you don't call sin? Because kim tena na krutam papam chorena atma apaharina yo anyatha santam atmanam anyatha pratipadyate. This tradition is amazing, amazing human tradition. What is the papa definition? Kim tena na krutam papam. Somewhere it comes in the Upanishads and Vedas and all this stuff, so many great writings. Kim tena na krutam papam. Tena kim papam na krutam. By him, what crime has not been committed? Who? Kim tena na krutam papam. Chorena. By this chora. Chora means a thief. Why is a thief? Atma apaharina. Because as though he has stolen the Atma, the self, the reality, the ahankar. This is the chora, the thief, ahankar. As though he has stolen the identity, the real identity. As though he has stolen the reality. Why is it so? Anyatha santam atmanam, anyatha pratipadyate. That Atma, the self, the I, which is limitless, it presents itself as the limited. When you say, I am the body, what have you done? You've forgotten the bodiless awareness, now we are stuck with the body. Who does it? I. That is the chora. That is the papa. So the papa is not eating some laddu quietly. Or the papa is not something that I looked at him, or see, touched this or saw that. And that is all for the consumption of average person, no problem. But even the crime is not a crime if you don't say I am a criminal. There is a gun. Having a gun is not a papa, but shooting the gun is papa. Having the riches is not a punya. Giving the riches is punya. Are you getting that? The ahankar must be involved. Object have no sense of papa punya. This flower is punyavan papi. Oh, Nagalingam flower, so sweet, serpent flower, Shiva, Punyavan. I want to give only to somebody who massages my ego. Oh, Swamiji, you have a fantastic garden, beautiful trees. Can I have that flower? You are rewarding the sycophant. That is stupid. Objects by themselves. Are you getting that point, please? You must see it very clearly. Not only, so I will give you that knowledge. Bhagavan says, Sarva dharman paritejya. Dharma, adharma. And what is that? Elaborately, please see. Mam ekam saranam braja. Come to me alone. What is that ekam? This meaning of the word aham. Bhagavan also will say what? Aham, Bhagavan, aham, Ishvara. I don't have to put words into Bhagavan's mouth. Everything that he says, we can take it. Aham atma gudakesha sarva bhuta sahasri. How beautiful. Hey Arjuna, aham atma. I am the self. Sarva bhuta sahasri. Anybody who says I am there. Universal identity. Million people, thousands, billions of people say I. And what is the meaning of the word I? Same for all. Who I am, who you are, who anybody is same for all. But what you have, what I have, what they have is naturally different from all. So that which is the supreme identity, universal identity. You see that knowledge, how fantastic? That is me. Aham atma gudake, he gudake, say Arjuna. Sarva bhuta asastin. All the beings I am existing. Whoever says the word I, understand the meaning of the I. Mam ekam saranam braja. To that you take your refuge, be yourself. And therefore, sarva dharman paritejya. Give up all dharma, adharma. What is the dharma? Dharma means what? Understand clearly. Not that if you are a particular caste, do your caste jati dharma. If you are a woman, do the woman's dharma. You are a man, that is all beautiful identity descriptions people can give to keep all confusion going, no problem. But simple thing, please understand. Dharma, the word is absolutely fantastic. And see, while taking the classes, these ideas were coming. That's why I am sharing with you all the blessings of the tradition and the Guru. Can't say this is my idea. No. That is why in Upanishads, there is no reference to any teacher. Nobody says, it is Susruma Purvesha. This is how we have heard. This is how I have seen. This is what it is. It's not your personal wisdom, you are giving it away. Nothing somewhere, I got shut down and got enlightened. As I told you that day, do not ever have any conflict with it. If somebody says, he got it by himself, our respect. Because if he says he got it, he got it. Why should I say no? Why should I ever contest it? But as I told you, a spontaneous remission of a disease doesn't make a person doctor. Your disease is cured, but you cannot cure anybody. So don't say it will be you can be cured by yourself and stop medicine. The fellow will die. The spontaneous remission doesn't come. The medicine also has stopped. What a helpless death you will have. You don't need anybody. The person gives up everything, nothing comes to him. To be on the top of the mountain, you don't need feet. You cut the feet even before you are on the top of the mountain. Neither you are on the top of the mountain nor you walk the ground. Difficult, friends. Understand the sadistic stuff. Person must understand. It's so beautiful. What does it mean to give up dharma? Simple. Deha dharma, indriya dharma, mano dharma, even ahankara dharma, dharma of the creation also, dharman paritejya. The dharma of the creation is, it is continuously changing. Jagat, jayate, gacchati, tisthati, iva. Jayate, continuously born, changing, in between as though existing. Jayate, now this moment is born, passing, in between as though existing. Everything, continuously. Do not rely on it to be eternally existing. You cannot. So Jagat Dharma, live it. Deha Dharma. Asti jayate vardhate viparinamate apakshate vinashyati iti shad vikaram sthira stula sariram. This is a stula, gross sariram, siriyate, which is continuously disintegrating. And its nature is, it is in a potential state in father and mother. Born, asti is existing. Jayate, asti, then vardhate, growing. Viparinamate, metamorphosis. Then change puberty and comes in. Then apakshiyate, starts decaying, vinashyati. That is the nature of the body. If you say, I am the body, you cannot escape. I'm born, I'm a baby, now I'm young, now I'm growing, now I can't see, now I'm dying. I told you that simple thing. When you say, I'm young, you are identifying with the youth of the body. At that time, you cannot say, I am old. You have to wait until your body becomes old. Deha Dharma, and the body shall be old. Can you prevent me from being old? Don't be stupid. You are not. Why are you afraid of old age? Your body shall grow old. Don't worry about it. You are ever young, eternal, absolute. Deha Dharma. Indriya Dharma. Eyes see, ears hear, tongue taste, nose smell, skin touches. But what people say? I see. You see? Do you see this flower? Yes, I see. Okay, close your eyes. Do you see this flower? No. So seeing and not seeing, whose function? If the eyes see, you say, I see. If the eyes do not see, suppose blind, what do you say? I don't see. So who is the seer? I see or you see? Seeing and not seeing are the function of the eyes. You attribute bright. Andhatva, mandatva, patutva dharma. Brightness of the eyes, brilliance of the eyes, dullness of the eyes, blindness of the eyes. These are the dharma of the eyes, not you. Ho, Indriya Dharma. Like that, every sense organ. Think it over. Then Mano Dharma, all the thoughts are coming, different types of thoughts. Until you pick up the graduation in science or physics or mathematics, can you say you are a physics graduate? You don't like it, physics, you want now music. Pick up the music, physics somewhere stage, music now comes up. You don't like that one, I want to be a mountain climber, go, do whatever. Whatever you pick up. Manodharma, anger, hatred, jealousy. I don't have time for giving you elaborate. We shall see that in the other classes. So with every thought you are grabbing an identity. And I shall give you a simple thing which this morning as I was walking, I got this idea to tell you how this ahankar is so helpless and helplessly stupid. Can you say, please tell me, can you say, if I ask you, sir, what are you doing? And Swamiji, I am thinking. Oh, you are thinking or thoughts are coming? Can you sit down and you say, I am thinking? What are you thinking? Thoughts are coming. Whatever thought comes, you shall say, you are thinking that. If you don't understand that, I am giving you still easier thing. Can you say, I am forgetting? What are you doing? I am forgetting few things. Forgetting is not your job. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. What language, what wisdom, what insight. Bhagavan says, Arjuna comes from me, the smriti, the memory, jnanam, the knowledge of every kind, and apamohanam, the forgetfulness. But the moment thought comes, I am thinking, I have forgotten, I am forgetting these days, I am forgetting. What's wrong with that? 70-year-old, 80-year-old, you are forgetting. How does it matter? What is not to be forgotten, if you can remember, that's good enough. And you cannot forget it. What you cannot forget, you don't recognize. But what is to be forgotten, you are sticking to that. How beautiful. Suffer, who says not? So, Sarva Dharma, when you say that Paritijya, Jagat Dharma, Vastu Dharma, what are the Dharma? Nature of the objects, nature of the body, nature of your thought, your sense organs, Organs of action, I lived, I walk, I procreate, I speak. Your speaking capacity goes out, can't lift, can't walk, can't procreate, can't urinate, cannot defecate. Old age. You are doing it. Sense organs of action doing it. Identifying with you feel strong, identifying with you feel absolutely weak, deteriorating, devastated. Same thing identifying with the thoughts, then emotions, anger, hatred, jealousy, all this type of kindness, love, quality. Love creates a problem for you, hatred also creates problem for you. Jealousy creates problem for you, helping somebody also creates problem for you. You repent, I should not have helped. Then you become jealous of people. Are you getting that point, please? How the person goes up and down. That is why all the students of the Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita, anywhere, Arjuna says, Yat Shreyas Syat Nishchitam Vahitam. Tell me which is the Shreyas, the best. Don't tell me this is good, that is good. Karma also, Jnana also. This also, that also. No. Which is the best, absolute good, Shreyas. Not opposed to bad or good. Nachiketa says, Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat etat pashyasi tadbhara. Oh Lord, please tell me which is beyond dharma, adharma. Your dharma includes adharma. Papa includes punyam. If everything is limited. Education doesn't solve, lack of education doesn't solve the problem. Education doesn't solve it either. Poverty doesn't solve the problem. Prosperity doesn't solve it either. No information doesn't solve the problem. Too much information also, or any information also doesn't solve the problem. Because why? The I stands condemned to information's limitation as well as the little credit. The I stands condemned to youth as well as the old age. If you say youth is wonderful, how long can you be young? You say old age is stupid, how long can you avoid it? No, can you take me something beyond youth and old age? Prosperity and poverty? Good and bad? Right and wrong? Dharma and adharma? That is what it is. Sarva dharman parityaja. And who is holding on to it? Ahankar. And what is ahankara dharma? Dragging everything to itself. Aham karomi. That one fellow sitting down there, when the body doesn't feel it is born, it is young or old, the eye says, I am young and old. That is unnecessary fellow. Are you getting that point? How fantastic it is. One thought drives you crazy. Instead of helping to understand, challenge that thought and helping you to understand what it is, if you pamper that thought, now I want to say, I am the disciple of the great master. I am a Shastri now, I have studied all the Shastras. All the Shastras you study, you will be a Shastri, not a Jnani. Or the person takes the credit, I am the one greatest tapasvi. I am the most austere person in the world. I do not eat anything. I starve in the jungle. I live inside the caves. So what's the line? Or I am the most pampering, most prosperous person in the world. I own islands, I own yachts and private jets and go around the world. I am the president of this and that. So what? So what? Think of it. Sarva dharma. Leaving them where it is. Leave the creation at creation level. Let the body as body level. Thoughts, sense organ level. Organs of action level. Thoughts are thought level. I thought is own level. What is left out? Sarva dharman parityaja. Only one. Mam ekam saranam. Only one thing is left out. What is that? Self. And you don't have to say I. Listen carefully. You don't have to say I am conscious to be conscious. Just like, take that statement. Is it, friends, please, is it necessary to say, is it necessary to think, I see to see? Eyes see. Do the eyes wait to be told, I see, then only eyes will see. I don't see, therefore the eyes don't. Will the eyes wait for it? Understand? You don't need to say I for your eyes to see. You don't need to say I don't see for your eyes not to see. You don't have to say I to be alive. You don't have to say I to be sick or healthy. You don't have to say I die to die. The body for the body to disintegrate. Same way, for your thoughts are there. Your eyes can't see your thought. If the eyes helped you to get the picture of the object, ears helped you to get the sound of the sound, the thoughts of the sound cannot be heard by the ears. The thought of the forms cannot be seen by the eyes. But what's it? Do you know it or not? Do you see it or you know it? Do you hear it or you know it? I know. So, with the eyes seeing, with the ears hearing, I say I hear, I see. Then, if with the ears hearing, the ahankar, the I thought says, I hear, what is that something knowing principle because of which the I says, I know? Hearing is not the job of the I thought. Walking is not the job of the I thought. Lifting is not the job of the I thought. Lifting is the power of the hands, the I thought. Only identify, say, I lift, I walk, I breathe. So whose dharma is to know? What is that knowing principle? Which knows? World doesn't know. Deho na janati, body doesn't know. Sense organs do not know. There is a difference between perception and awareness. The thoughts do not know, thoughts are known. So what is that knowing principle identifying with which the I, ahankar says, I know. In everybody around the universe, Brahmadi Pipilika Paryanta Dhanusu, beginning from Brahma, the creator, to Pipilika, the ant, everybody is conscious. Ekam, one without a second. That is your nature. So if my teacher tell me, what do they know about God? Forget God, I'll tell them what it is. What do they know about themselves? Forget their own identity and I'll tell them. Did it? That the teacher reveals is great. He revels in himself, reveals the truth. It is up to us to take it and think it. That is why Shravana, you listen and you grasp it. Suppose you do not grasp it, what happens? You shall carry, you'll pick up all the informations. You came uninformed, you'll go back informed, not awakened. You came to the teacher uninformed, you'll go back informed, but not awakened. By visiting the hospital, nobody is cured. Taking the medicine, you are cured. By listening to the teacher, nobody becomes enlightened. You can listen, but you must see it for you. That is Shravan, Manan, Nitidhyas, all this simultaneous. As you are listening, you are thinking, you are seeing it. Instantaneous. How it is, we shall see another day. You cannot escape. And once you are aware of that, what way you are superior or inferior to anybody in this universe? Knowing which, everything is as well. I shall not know your roles, but I know you for who you are. It's like gold. You knowing the gold, you know all the ornaments. You may not know the shape and size of the ornaments, but you know everything is gold. That is why difference between Jiva and Ishvara, individual. I have one body, one set of sense organs, one set of thoughts with myself. So Samanya Jnanam is allowed. Samanya Jnanam is our blessing. Samanya Jnanam, consciousness here, there, everywhere, one consciousness, no problem. Vishesha Jnanam only Ishvara can have. Because with our, just like as a physicist you know something, as a chemist I don't know. As a mathematician you know something, as a historian I do not know. As a cook you know something, as a dancer I do not know. Just like that. Who can know everything? Details, Vishesha Jnanam is not available for everybody. Understand? That is why relative knowledge is endless. Vedanta is end of the knowledge because you know yourself and that's the end of everything. If you are aware of yourself and know certain things, fantastic. You cannot know something, fantastic. I am happy with myself being who I am. So shall I be, oh, you are not giving example of physics. I am not a physicist. Why don't you give me some example of music? I don't know no music. Why are you singing or doing this only that? Whatever my experiences, informations you have, using that you can talk. That is why there are wise people. They are not PhDs from the university. Ordinary people have written down fantastic things with simple language. You don't have to be a grammarian for that, a top-class etymologist for that, a top-class astrologer, Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakarana, Chandas, Jyotish, Nirukta. Do says not. Please encourage people to know everything. But for yourself to be who you are, nothing is needed. To be introduced to yourself, to be who you are, what should you pick up? You can't believe this. But that simple is the wisdom. He promised, delivered. Whether I got it or not, if I say I got it, my Guru says yes. But of course he can know it, anybody. Because one who knows will not try to know whether somebody knows it or not. Understand? And that is the time absolute freedom becomes. As Krishna asked Arjuna, did you get this knowledge, what I told you, did you get it? Don't say, anyway, Mahadeva. There are people say, Karmanyavadikara Mahaphaleshu Vadajana, go on acting without expecting result. Then Krishna should be teaching without asking why, did you understand? No. You do your expecting result, you do. When the result comes, accept it as it is. Another day those things. But when Arjuna asked, Krishna asked him, did you understand all that I teach you? He said, yes. Nashta moha, smudhi labdha. Oh Lord, delusion is gone. You got back the memory. That word usage itself will show you. That means as though it was there and as though I forgot. Smriti, which was already there, I didn't know that it was with me. But now we know it. Thank you. Karishya vachanam tava. I shall do whatever you say. That is the gratitude of the student. And what is the teacher's role? Shall the teacher say, now I've got a donkey to ride. Whatever I say, he will do. No. What is it? Vimrishya tat asheshena. Hey Arjuna, etat asheshena vimrishya. Think it over. See it for yourself. Make it your own. Be that. Then yatha ichhasi tatha guru. As you choose, you do. This knowledge gives you absolute freedom. The Guru is not waiting there to be, for you to thank him or to be grateful to him. That is why, as I told you, nobody comes to a Guru. You come to a speaker. You are a listener. What the speaker reveals depends on his wisdom. Suppose he says, having money is enough. That's a different types of teachers. School teacher, college teacher, mathematician, everybody is teacher. But what they teach? Just because you are teaching some Sanskrit word, that does not mean you are giving the wisdom. So depending on what the teacher knows, that's what exactly will reveal. And that is where the student will stay there. One who knows the absolute shall helplessly push you into that. Why? Because nothing beyond it, nothing below it. That is the reality you yourself are. So when he thus keeps it, you are absolutely thrilled about it. Karishya vachanam tava. He says, I will do whatever you ask me to do. And what the teacher says? Yathachasya. Leave as usual. You don't have to tell a person, you are free, but do whatever you do, tell me and do. Very good. What type of freedom is that? Absolute wisdom, friends. So, what else can I say? This is nothing, friends. We shall see more of it as time comes. But as I told you, Swamiji promised, challenged, delivered. Lucky to be born into this tradition. Aho Guru, Aho Guru, Aho Shastra, Aho Shastra. Close your eyes, please. Please not doing 3 times me.